When there's no one here in the tryout who will live through your first day trials of confusion, when your faint and crooked smile had to leave, and when you're painted like a warrior, though you know it's a raining war. You spoke but wasn't really sure. Was your heart your fear in the leading light? If they are with you and your heart won't fail to see through a fearless eye and know that danger finally goes away, still you're trying. There's no leaving now. And with your quiet, damn devotion to be lost like your child again, claim forever is a close and honest friend to your ways. Will there be time to harvest rivers that for so long refuse to grow? All the little things you need to build a home for your love. Your fear in the leading light, if they are with you and your heart won't fail to see through a fearless eye and know that danger finally goes away, still you're trying. There's no leaving now. Your fear in the leading light, if they are with you and your heart won't fail to see through a fearless eye and know that danger finally goes away, still you're trying. There's no leaving now.
Dear Brother Fails, this letter confirms the decision made by the Church Disciplinary Court that you be excommunicated for your practice of homosexuality. Good luck. Sincerely, the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints. Hi, I'm Stephen Fails, and I'm a Mormon, which is why I smile like this. And I'm a gay Mormon, which I think makes me an oxymormon. Now, the last name Fales, F-A-L-E-S, not F-A-I-L-S, comes from Old Welsh, meaning son of Fagel. Now, Fagel, also pronounced Fagala, means to be glad, or gay, which is also why I smile like this. I was just excommunicated from my church. Apparently, the brethren didn't like some of the folks I was smiling at. You want to know what one of my favorite things to do was when I was a kid? I used to watch our Mormon mascots, Donnie and Marie, on the television every Sunday night. Now, while most boys my age wanted to be Donnie and marry Marie, I wanted to be Marie. Oh my God, I wanted to marry Donnie. And I was teased incessantly on the playground at school for acting like a girl. So when I was about 8, my father really poured on the steam and he put me in Little League and he taught me how to hit and run like a man. Yeah! Well, at least he can say he tried. But still, like all other good Mormon boys, I went to BYU for college. That's Brigham Young University. Trust me, we all go there. But the real reason that I went to college was to find a wife. I mean, according to the good book, you couldn't get into heaven if you didn't have a good wife. So I waited, and about a year later, I met Miss Emily Pearson. And what a catch. I mean, she was tall, blonde, and gorgeous. Everything that you could want for the mother of your children, and even more. So, after a long Mormon engagement, 4 months, we were married. And before we knew it, we were pregnant. But still, there was good news for my family. My wife's mother was Miss Carolyn Pearson. Now, she was a famous writer, and she's kind of what you would call Mormon royalty. Miss Carolyn Pearson. Now, there is a name for you. You see, her most famous work was her autobiography, Goodbye, I Love You. In this, she told the story of the relationship that she had with her gay husband, Gerald. Small world, isn't it? So I was in a bind, and one Sunday I was sitting at the computer, and I typed in my password, H-E-L-P, and then this happened. I felt somebody touch my shoulder, and then my wife said to me, Stephen, who are you writing to? Stephen, are you having an affair? Stephen, with how many men? H-E-L-P. And it was about that time that I had noticed that I had stopped smiling, and I looked over at Emily, and she'd stopped smiling too. I mean, of course she knew. The title of her mother's book came from her. Goodbye, I love you were the last words she ever said to her father before he died of AIDS. So that's when I cracked, at age 30. But to prove to Emily that I was repentant, I turned myself in. I remember on the day of my church trial, they ushered me into this room, and they plopped me down in this chair, and Mr. Secretary read the charge. Homosexuality. You know, I am surprised they even said the word. But you know what? I told them everything. I spoke my truth. And then the questions started. Had I ever had sex with a minor? And I said, no. And then, had I ever sexually abused my son? My son. You know, I was as good as any father in that room. I mean, did they ask that question to straight people? Did they ask them if they sexually abused their daughters? I looked them straight in the eye and I said, no. And then they made me leave the room so they could pray. Pray! And they ushered me back in 10 minutes later with their decision to excommunicate me. Goodbye. I love you. You know, I really don't remember everything that happened that day, but I do remember how I felt, and I wasn't expecting to feel that way. I mean, their voices just faded out of me, and this feeling of peace came over me. And then a new voice rushed into me. It was my voice. Stephen, I know who you are, and you are so much bigger than any of this. And you know what? For the first time in a really long time, I smiled. I smiled, and it was my smile. My real smile.
Diagnosed and treated for depression. After several incidents, I was re-diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I felt like my life had been flipped upside down, and for the longest time, I felt like I'd lost myself. But with the help of my family and a few good friends and a better understanding of what it means to be bipolar, I'm feeling better. I'm not the same person that I used to be, but that's not a bad thing.